Haere mai iho, I'm Neen the Joy Ninja. There's more information about me in the description box below. Confession time, I don't record on a sheet of paper every purchase or every expense in my budget, but once a month I do add up how much I have put into each of my sinking funds, my long-term savings, and how much I've spent on daily expenses like food and petrol. So what you see me doing here is just double checking how much money I've got on hand and throwing my pen, and just making a note at the end of every month so I can put it into my main spreadsheet. So I do keep an Excel spreadsheet on my computer, and that tracks all the automatic payments that I have, and I try to automate just about everything to do with the house. So your rent, your power, things like that, they all come out of an account, and I can link a video up the top which gives you a more in-depth deep dive into how I've set up my accounts. I'm doing this basically to keep things as simple as possible. And here's my favourite part. It is putting aside all of the change that I've managed to save over the month. This goes into a separate monthly challenge. I started this little challenge in November last year, so I won't be counting this until October. But it's starting to bulk up, and I'm pretty excited to see what just saving my change is doing. And this separate binder is the last thing I'm going to count today. That is my 1 month ahead binder, but I just started it this month, so not a whole lot, but I've made a good start. So now we're on to the last step, which is just to total up all the amounts in each of the envelopes, and I pop those into my spreadsheet. I do like one total for everyday expenses, one for sinking funds, just to keep it simple. But the advantage of doing it this way for me is even if I haven't tracked every expense, I know how much money I've got put aside, for example, for my pets, for my dental, and it's not all in one online account. I found in the past with doing things digitally like this, I would borrow from one digital envelope to fund another digital envelope, and even though they were in the same bank account kind of thing, it just got really confusing for me. I could never tell you exactly how much money I had set aside for, say, my car. I couldn't tell you week to week how much money I had set aside for going to the dentist. So doing it in cash has allowed me to know, and it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone. If you bank with a bank that lets you have 100 different bank accounts and doesn't charge you for each of those, then digital might be the way to go. That's not my experience, and I wanted to keep things really, really simple in terms of what's online. I also find that having things saved digitally isn't as meaningful as actual cash. It's harder for me to spend cash. It's harder for me to hand over cash. It's incredibly easy to tap my pay and go. I don't get the same feeling from it. So I hope this has given you food for thought. I will show you on the final screen how much I've got saved up, how much I've managed to save this month. So here is my spreadsheet. I'm just showing you the last 3 months, but I've been doing this for nearly a year now. I have in column A all the different funds that I track. You'll see I also take a balance from my online accounts and pop that in there. January was a spendy month because of uniform and dental fees. So this shows my net worth has gone down 2%. Or overall, I'm worth $50 less than I was in December. But it's important to note that this isn't a debt. I put money aside because I knew January was going to be expensive. I had school uniform to fund. I lost some health funding, but I had money in sinking funds to be able to cover those expenses. So overall, pretty happy with where things are going. I have managed to save quite a bit over this month while my expenses increased, so that's a win. It's been a full-on week and I'm a little bit behind, so I am posting this today, Saturday, and I'm going to be back tomorrow with my first ever mini savings challenge, cash stuffing. Oh, that was a mouthful. Anyway, back tomorrow. Ka kite. See you then.